Quentin Jenkins, any thoughts on a Game of Thrones movie being in development? So this came out, was it yesterday, that a Game of Thrones movie is in development. No writers attached, no director attached, but we're developing a movie. Basically, Warner Brothers, HBO, Discovery are desperately trying to figure out how to make more money out of Game of Thrones. And so they've tried to develop so many different Game of Thrones spin-off TV shows. They had one where they shot like a $30 million pilot, and they went, nah, I don't think so. And didn't work. And House of the Dragon did work out. And then they were working on a Jon Snow follow-up series, and then they said they haven't quite cracked the code for it yet. So it looks like that one's been put on the back burner. And there have been several other ones as well that they were trying to do all of these different spin-offs, because the world of Westeros is so rich. There's so many different time periods you could go to, and the genre can work any other time. Like, there was a couple of unique things about the specific time period of the Game of Thrones one. That's why there's like this great one, because the White Walkers are coming in while there is all this upset and multiple layers of things kind of happening. But you could tell all these other stories about in that world with that same genre of people battling for power in a world that does have dragons and some magic, and that's classic fantasy. So you want to explore all these other potential stories that could be told. And now they're saying they want to do a movie. To me, it just plays out like everything I just said. They're just desperately trying to find the thing to make more money out of the popular thing. And my first thought, a Game of Thrones movie does not work, because the TV show was already cinematic, very cinematic. And so much of it feels and looks better than the vast majority of movies that come out. If you just stop and think about it, most movies are not $300 million. And even some of the movies that are $300 million don't look as good and big as Game of Thrones. It was always so large in scope and scale and looked fantastic. And so the advantage of going cinematic is that it's cinematic, and you already are. So then I think you lose what Game of Thrones is best at, which is long form, very dense stories and character work that play out across seasons with all of these different layers. And you already had episodes of the show that were 2 hours long. A good percentage of the episodes of the House of the Dragon are over an hour long, an hour and 5 minutes or whatever. And so then when you say we're going to do a movie, movies are, even if it's 3 hours long, that's 3 episodes of the show. So I just don't think, when you think, what do you want out of Game of Thrones, you immediately go, what would you even do in 2 hours? What would you do in 2.5 hours? That you have to set up a conflict, set up characters, develop them, change them, have your big resolution. It already feels smaller than the show. When you say that, like, it feels smaller. And when you go movies, it's supposed to go bigger. And because Game of Thrones already has very rich, dense storytelling that's too big for a movie, and it's already cinematic in quality, you can only go smaller by telling a story in that format. So I don't think it sounds to me like it doesn't make any sense why you would do that.
Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.